Sorry about that. I was Googling how to spell something. Okay, so we have the word psychosis. Okay, so you have the word psychosis, and they say, okay, well, it's all in the head. It's like you're almost delusional. You're hearing voices, so you have psychosis. Now, if you take the word psychosis, okay, and so you take P-S-Y-C-H, put the I here, add a C, so you scratch that out, so you have I-C, and then you have S-O-S, okay? Psychic SOS. Okay, psychosis, to me, which if you look up psychosis and you look up psychic, they're basically saying psychic, only they're putting a medical term for it so they can give you a medication. Okay, we are psychic, and it is normal. You have your negative voices, you have your positive voices. And the negative voices is what causes you to do harm. What you're doing is you're speaking with the collective. You're speaking with other psychics, which are the collective. So you're telepathically communicating with them. So in my opinion, and from what I've been learning over the past couple years, is that the psychosis actually means psychic SOS. Other psychics are calling out to you. I actually discovered this because back in 2019, I died. Prior to dying, I was laying next to someone, okay? Like I was having visions and what have you. And this one night I was laying next to someone and they had a black t-shirt on. And what ended up happening is I started seeing colorful fireworks on their t-shirt. It was very strange. And I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden I started seeing colorful cartoon characters dancing around and what have you. And then the word SOS come up. So when the word SOS come up, I needed help and the universe was calling for help. So it was a psychic SOS. So I said out loud SOS. But he didn't understand. He does now. This person does understand me now and realizes like, wait a minute, she's actually not crazy. She is talking to people. I actually write down names that I get telepathically. And I Googled them because I think, well, okay, like this is not real. But after I Googled them, I realized like, whoa, this is like real. Okay. So just remember, and one thing we like, schizophrenia, it's mental health awareness, and we're all waking up. So our brains are kind of scattered. And as I said, it's the negative and the positive come in. You need to focus more, you need to focus on the positive voices you're hearing. The voices that are telling you like, hey, wait a minute, no, don't do that. Okay, because you got your good, you got your bad, right? The angels, okay? So just keep that in mind. And always know that like, when you're hearing the voices, it's not the head they're coming from. I actually learned this a few months ago from another person who does a channel, Sam the Illusionist. I've learned a lot from him because he channels himself. So you're welcome, Sam. Just know that it's coming from your throat chakra, because I know that there was times that like you get psychic attacks. Okay, I get psychic attacks sometimes, and it's like, oh, I went to the hospital a month ago, thinking that I had to be in the hospital. And when I was in the hospital, I was waiting to see a doctor. I was getting psychic attacks, and I'm going, and I have a lot of energy, as I said, energy healing. So I was going around the hospital, and I was going like this, trying to flick the energy off, forgetting what I told somebody else, like, don't do that, because it's very powerful. So I was doing that, and I was walking around going, trying to cover the third eye, the pineal gland, the all-seeing eye, the eye of Horus, God's eye. Okay? This is where it comes from. There are frequencies to help you to unlock your pineal gland. And it's 528 and 432. There's many others when you get those, but those are the two that really help a lot. And it's frequencies for the crown chakra. Sorry. I'm Deskedo truskle patokori askata eno ale karato toile pekoi. Kalaleska totori skaraldo gani amargani tota ekariaske. Ke anto ai askala porgoi perke angui la kariata takidotuki. Okay, I'm sorry. That came through. So I'm not sorry. I won't go into a lot of detail, but I do suggest, like, before you say, oh, well, this lady's like right out to lunch, which I don't care if you think that anyways, because if you think I'm crazy, I'm proud to be crazy, because it means I'm awake. That's so just Google light language codes and you will see, compare, because there's a bunch of different ones. I move a lot when I'm talking. I've always done that. Sometimes I talk fast. Sometimes it's like I'm thinking, because I'm getting uploads and messages all the time. As I stated, there's some that will channel through me if they want to get a message out there. I'm still learning. It's always a learning curve as we go through it. And as I had stated, Google psychosis, get the meaning of psychosis, and compare it to psychic. I will tell you that I was in the psychiatric unit a little over a year ago. And when I left there, I told them that you might want to be ready, because there's more people like myself coming, and the medications don't work. They dumb us down, but they don't so much work. It's good to look for groups on Facebook or places like that where they understand. When I first started going through this, I didn't so much know about the channels, but I was in contact with my mom and Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Raphael, Raguel. It's just with my ancestors and my family. My mom is deceased, and I do talk to her. But I guess what I was saying there is, when this starts happening to you, you start to rise. Your vibrations come up, your frequencies come up. Sometimes it's like you get agitated, and sometimes I could be sitting here and my body will be telling me, like, oh my gosh, you're anxious, get outside. So when I go outside, it actually helps. Or a salt bath, listening to frequencies. If you feel like you're getting some anxiety, there's the frequencies for anxiety, and it does help. I use the frequencies a lot. I actually listen to frequencies more than I watch anything. I don't watch TV anymore. I watch documentaries. I got on a bender of watching on a Prime Video Bruce Almighty, Noah's Ark, okay? Because I was fascinated by it because they were telling the story of Noah's Ark, and they thought that, well, it's the wrath of God. Well, Ark, okay, I've learned this. Ark. Act. Random. Oh, sorry, K. I put a T. Kindness. Okay? So it means act of random kindness. So what Noah was doing was Noah was saving the animals, and his family worked together. And this is what we are doing now. This is what the awakening is. We're all coming together and working together. And this is why we have channelers. There's other people who are doing light codes. I actually learned a lot from Nicola Russell. Remembrance into the Light, I believe her channel is called. You're welcome. She does a wonderful job. I listen to her. Michael, his name is Michael. He does Our Everyday Lives. He actually helped me a lot to get through this. Ireland Clark, she too. I watched Dolores Cannon, Bruce Lipton, Joe Dispenza. We're all star beings. Like, we're all from the dust. We're all God's children. We all have the energy. We all have gifts and abilities. Some will say, oh, well, that's poo-poo. The military are actually using remote viewers and children who can use the energy, or they're teaching. Nuts. I'll keep my opinion to me, which I don't think they should be doing that. It's if they're using it for wrong, we should be using it all for good. But that's my opinion. Everybody has their own opinion. It's very exhilarating. And once you're awake, you're awake, and it'll keep coming. The more you take yourself out of your comfort zone, and you go into yourself and look deep within. I've been doing that, and I stayed in my camper for from the middle to the end of April of last year, of 2021, till the second week in October of 2021. I stayed in my camper, and I actually did a lot of going within. I will admit I done a lot of screaming and crying because the energy was coming in, and sometimes it can be hard, and sometimes we don't want to look at our own self. We don't want to look in that mirror because that mirror can be scary, but when you do and you let go of the old past, you become lighter. I've experienced different things. Like, I feel very light the majority of the time. Sometimes when the energies are coming in, they feel so dense and heavy that's just like, oh my goodness, like I feel really heavy. Like in the wintertime, it was like going through and walking. It's like, oh my goodness, I feel so heavy. And then there's times when you just feel like you're going to float. Last October, I had been walking with someone, and it was very strange because they were wearing a sweater. And they were still cold, and I had like like a really thin top on. And I was walking, and they looked at me, and they were like, aren't you cold? And I looked at them and was like, no. Like, I don't even feel the breeze. I don't feel the wind. Which was strange because it was like the wind was going through me or I was deflecting it. So it was going around me, so I was not feeling it. Which, that happens as we go along and we get lighter and lighter and lighter because we let go of the old baggage. So I'm going to review one more time, like, you are psychic, you do have abilities. Energy healing is real. Some people, like I said, they poo-poo things that they don't understand. But more and more people are understanding it now. Okay? So, as I said, when you're hearing the voices, they're actually coming from your throat chakra. Still learning how to align all of my chakras. I'm getting rid of a lot of excess baggage, and I'm going out of my comfort zone. I've changed my diet, which that will happen. Your diet will start to change. I'm more of a vegetarian now. I don't eat red meat. I haven't been eating poultry. Once in a while, I might have a little bite of it, but then it kind of doesn't make me feel good. I stick mostly with fruits, vegetables, because they're high vibrational foods, which are good for you, and fish and eggs. I stare at the sun a lot. I haven't been getting out as much as I should be, but I've been helping a few people kind of come into their own. So I haven't been getting outside and walking a lot. Walking is really, really good for you. The sun, they tell us the sun, no, don't go out in the sun. Put 50 block on, put this block on. Don't put it on. Why do you think they tell you take vitamin D? The vest. The best type of vitamin D comes directly from the sun. I wear glasses right now, which the sun is actually helping me. When I'm outside, I don't wear them because I can actually read the signs, whereas before I couldn't. When I'm reading a computer or something like that, I wear them because it's like, oh my gosh, like I don't even want to be near electronics for the most part. Sometimes, well, it's because I can feel the radiation and the stuff coming from the TV. Have you ever noticed when you're sitting in front of the TV, or you watch somebody who's in front of the TV and they're like this? It's like they're a zombie. Well, because there's frequencies hitting here. Okay, this is where your third eye, your pineal gland, your God's eye, what have you, it's in there. Okay, so it's hitting it, it's programming you. Okay, oh, you got to do things this way. This is how you live. This is what you're supposed to do. Well, no, you do what fits you, what makes you happy, not what makes someone else happy. If somebody told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? I think not. Okay, so it's free will, universal law. Sometimes we feel like we don't have it, but always remember you do. Okay, so I'm going to leave you all with that. As I said, These are light codes. You can rewind the video and have a look at the other light codes. Tereskala oborgira matokoyana se totashkle manakriatskre emanaga soleshkle et kurioskide kremada kuria programada karigat kurigele gregan tikriata kariala krioskle kurio porgoriala kariaskata nagriato kurina nagriaskala mercury. Sorry, not. It happened. So remember, ARC means act of random kindness. Psychosis, Google psychosis, the meaning of it. Don't just say, oh, well, I know what it means. Google it. And then Google psychic. Okay? It'll point out it's basically the same thing. My doctor back in 99, I used a Ouija board. And my psychic abilities come up, and I thought I was possessed because I didn't understand it. So I had an exorcism done. And my doctor told me that it was always considered like a possession, like you're in the collective. You're actually like it's a medium. I'm a medium too. So you kind of connect. And he said when that happens, they always considered it that, and then they started giving people medication to subside the effects of it. So Google it and you will understand what I'm talking about. With that being said, I would like to thank you all for joining me today. Like, subscribe, comment. I'd really love to hear all your inputs. I'd love to hear your stories of your spiritual awakening, and we can all become a family, because the more you talk to others, the more you begin to understand that, hey, wait a minute, I'm not alone, which you are never alone. Okay? Always know we are never alone. So I would like to say thank you once again. Love you all. Much energy, love, light. Namaste to you all.